be speaking just for a tad. I think I have 2 minutes, as according to the grandchildren in the room. So I just wanted to say thank you so much for coming. And we had a wedding not too long ago, and I didn't have a chance to have all my friends at the wedding. So my idea was that I just wanted to have an occasion, a special occasion, to say, you know, here I am, but more importantly, here is my son, his beautiful wife, Ashley Gray, and she will be a mom to a very beautiful girl, no doubt, and I'm going to be a grandma. So I want to say a few things. First, I want to just cover a little information about my son. And
this will be terrific.
And I wrote notes down. So, first off, I don't really know how to be a grandma or do any of this party stuff. So I'm just kind of trying my best to fit in this world, this new society that I seem to be in. So at any rate, I decided to have a grandma party because I've never been one. And I thought I'd first tell you about Thomas, and I know some of us have a memory on it. My son was a very easy baby. And I know, Colette, you had some times, and some of you folks might have had some challenges, but Thomas was easy. And it got to be where he was 2 years old that we had to go through some operations, maybe about 5-year operations and 2 adenoids, and probably the normal things. But one of the things I didn't have, the advantage of, is I didn't have my mother and father had passed away, and Pearl and Joe, my husband's grandparents were in New York. So I had to raise Thomas with Dr. Spock, this book. Some of you might have hearing, you probably remember. And there's like a schedule you put the babies on. And I know Colette can appreciate that because she has her babies on the schedule. So at any rate, every day was like this finite range of excitement but scariness. And but I want to bring in Thomas's grandmother, Pearl, because she, even though she lived in New York, she served as my role model on how to become a parent, and certainly a mom. And what she did in my life and in my son's life made an incredible positive difference. I will say she gave me all the support, the love, the devotion, but she gave it to my son on equivalently all through her whole life. Every month she would come down, almost from New York, her and Joe. So they'd always send a package of toys and clothes and everything that Thomas would want during those years. And always a gift for me, but always kind of gently prodding me as to how I should be doing with my son. Never saying anything's right or wrong, but I really had no guidelines. And I suppose many of people are out like that. But I wanted to just tell you some of the things that I faced before I got to this moment. First off, Pearl his grandmother was a cancer survivor twice. And she was incredibly strong-minded and strong-willed. She put her husband in his place because he would be like my husband sometimes. So
he is filming it, you know.
Yeah. So she really had a very small fragment of an image, but she was strong. So it kind of helped me in that reign too, because I had to become extremely strong because my son came with a little bit of challenges. We had we had to go, probably in the doctor's office. We lived in and out for 2 years, and that wasn't too bad. But then as we went to school, we had various acronyms given to him. Probably some of you teachers might know. And I was a school teacher. Actually, I was getting to be an administrator. You're supposed to go up that ladder where you're department head, assistant principal, principal. But my son I thought would need me more. So I went ahead and because they wanted to put him in these special classes, I gave up, it wasn't a big deal, gave up my little career ladder. Mary Ellen Ilya, the superintendent, I could tell her, because she actually told me, I was just, you know, Lynn, I can't believe you're doing this. You know, you will not ever be able to gain that momentum in the career area. So I said I am, and I'm going to take off 2 years, and I'm going to get certified in every grade so I can be with my son through his entire life of teaching. So what I did is I got certified and took him out of a school, Northwest. And remember Cacciatore? Mrs. Cacciatore, he didn't like her. He was a first grade teacher. And I'm a teacher, so I'm all about not, you know, saying, well, that's, you know, there's something going on with her. But I really didn't like her either. Because he Thomas had lazy eyes or hazy eyes, whatever, some kind of diagnosis. I totally missed that, so he had to have glasses. So he really couldn't read the first whole year or so. Lazy eyes. So anyway, we went through each grade together. So in a sense, I grew up with my son, and then I wove in trips all over the United States, and then we took a trip to Europe for 3 weeks, and I tried my best to homeschool. People use homeschooling now as a regular, but I really did homeschool. Every day after school, he would sit on the counter, and I would sit there, and I would go over every little darn thing he did. And we got him we went to Hillel, and then everything was really good. He received the Mensch Award, which is the overall, you remember that, Thomas? The overall best, Karen, you remember the Mensch Award. Hillel is a Jewish middle school, and that's like a really nice accolade of you know, good person through and through. Went to Jesuit. I was going to go to Jefferson, then I took myself out of that high school and went to Jesuit. And that was where Thomas was going to go. And it was a very embarrassing time for him, I'm sure, because he was a teenager, and that separation time, which I didn't understand. I had to go to a psychologist, Dr. Hendershot, which is Lou's tennis player. I said, why is my son not talking to me? You know, we've been together all these years. And then he said, that's a natural separation and all that. So I actually had to know intellectually what was going on, and then I understood. So, okay, it's normal that my son hardly talks to me and, you know, does whatever he wants to do. So, anyway, we went ahead and got him out of Jesuit barely, and he would start working as a manager at a little tiny store in Northdale, just one of those tiny little box phone stores. Am I right? And I'd bring him his lunch every day. Go to check up. He had nothing to do. He had nothing was there. No customers ever came in, but he had everything organized, and he was a little manager. He was an official. So about 16 years old, this little man, or 17, was a manager. And then, and I took it seriously. I suppose he did too. He started working for Best Buy. Well, anyway, long story short, at 17, I think he started as a clerk at Best Buy, and by the age of 26, he is, has been a manager for the largest stores. And right now, he's in charge of 141 employees, and they send him to places to help train people. So where I'm going with this is, I don't want to give myself credit, because he had a huge affinity with his grandmother, Pearl. And they were very, very close. And Ashley, just so you know, I don't want to say that I don't know anything about being a grandma, because I really have a good role model to follow. And I do have all the photos and the albums and all those things, memories. My husband has them all on the disc. But I had a great teacher. And what I want to say too is, Thomas is great at picking out the right people for the right things, and I see that he picked out Ashley, and she is the right girl for him. 5 years they've known each other, and now actually it's 6. They've gotten married after their 5th year, and so I just want to say congratulations, both of you, and that I'm happy and so proud and everything to be a grandmother, and this is the granddad here. So. Thank you very much, everybody, and you're going to have a game.